Welcome to Pokemon Masterclass. I'm your host, Gym Leader Justin. Today we're going to be exploring the Dark Gym deck for the channel in expanded format. So this is again we're trying to have some fun. We're building. We started with the theme deck meta. Now we're in expanded. So kind of some of the things we learned there, you'll see in our deck building here. Again, if you have any tips or tricks, leave them down in the comments below. If that big button down there that says subscribe is red, that means you're not subscribed. Please do feel free to click it. Hopefully today with this video, we earn your subscription. It really does help the channel. We really appreciate it. Let's get into the deck today. So, we are going to be running the, basically the main combo here of like the regular Pokemon, so to speak, the non-Vs, VMAX, GX, any of those, is the Galarian Zigzagoon. So that pseudo Hoenn rep, really happy here. So we've got 3 of the Zigzagoon, 2 of the Linoon, and 2 of the Obstagoon. So Obstagoon's really good. These 2 are okay, but right here, the Headbutt Tantrum, you just deal 10 damage to anything. When you play it from your hand onto your bench, you deal 10 damage to any one of your opponent's Pokemon anywhere. So it's just a little bit of chip damage, which is kind of goes with some of the poison that we have here, which we'll get into in a second. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve from Linoon, you can put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So that's the better version of that. So you can deal some chip damage here, and then when it evolves, you do more chip damage. So it's really awesome. I love that. And then Obstruct, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by basic Pokemon. So again, it's kind of like like what Brandon talked about earlier video a couple weeks ago about that Ice Cube card. Same type of thing, only 2 energies and 90 damage isn't bad. He's 160 and prevents all damage. Really good evolution card there. Then we are running 3 different VMAX, 2 and 1 of each of the V's to VMAX. So we're running Crobat V and VMAX, Eternatus V and VMAX, and then we do have the special gold card, which is awesome. And then we are running 2 of the Slowking V and VMAX. Potentially I am thinking about switching around and kind of getting, and then right now the one-offs for both of our pokes is just kind of the flex picks here. The Moltres V, which is really nice to scoop stuff out of the grave, and then the Malamar, which has more chip damage, forces them to switch. It's like a free Lysander, and it's chip damage, which is really good for Dragoff. And then Brain Shake is really good damage for 130 and does Confusion. So it's just a really solid card. But potentially one of these might have to go for a third Slowking, Galarian Slowking V, because I do own 3. And he's just really good. So what he does is World of Ruin. So obviously right now we'll go back down to 2. But what he does is World of Ruin, it's 2 energy. At the end of your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon is knocked out. So if they stay in, they're dead. It's really strong. It forces them to switch or retreat or something. Otherwise, you just get a free kill. It's super good. And then Concoction, discard a card from your hand and then draw 3. So again, good energy there. He's just a really good engine. Excuse me, not energy. He's a good engine. Then we do also have the Crobat, which is another potentially good engine. When you play it from your hand to the bench, draw until you have 6. So really good. You can only do once per turn, but that's okay. And then we'll go to the Eternatus. So for 1 energy, it does 30 damage, and you can move 1 dark energy from your hand to one of your bench pokes. So that's more. So draw power. Good kill power here. This thing does poison, 70 damage and then poison, so that's nice. We don't really attack with him too often, especially when he only has 1 retreat cost, and we'll get to the stadium card that we're running in a minute. But yeah, so the Dynamax Cannon is really strong on Eternatus V. 120 damage base, and then if it's a VMAX that you're fighting, it goes up to 240. So really big damage. Blast them. Really strong. And then you go here to Dread's End. So basically, this is the Eternal Zone for Eternatus VMAX. If he's on anywhere on the board, basically what it means is you can only have dark types on your bench, but you can have up to 8, while your opponent still only has 5. And then if the ability stops, you have to go back. You have to discard until you're down to 5. And then Dread End does 30 times the number of dark Pokemon in play. So takes both your and your opponent's cards into play there. So it could potentially do a lot of damage. But just from your own bench, it does mean you could have 9 total. So if you have a full bench of 8 and then this guy in your active, you could have 9 total. So really, really big damage there. 270 popping off, and like we said over here, we have 240 with the little one, so a little bit more damage with the big guy, but he can just hit hard kind of regardless of the opponent. This guy's just good against VMAX. So again, situational, but big, really big damage there, and we do have other ways to chip damage, so 270 becomes relevant very, very quick. So again, we could have 40 damage on just from having one Zigzagoon, and then evolve to Linoon, then evolve to Obstagoon. That's 10 from the Linoon, and then 30 there. So 40 damage there from the usual like 310, or even if you're like an evolution, some of them are 300 for those VMAX. The V-Stars are all like 280, so we can almost one-shot them anyways, just with the Zigzagoon and then with the big guy. So there's a lot of good power there. And then Dire Flame Wings is really, really good. So like I said, this is once per turn you can activate this ability and just scoop a dark energy. It's really good. It goes to himself, but it's still good. Scoop it out of the discard. And then 30 damage to itself, but 190 base is really good. And then we do have the energy in this deck. As long as this card is attached to the Pokemon, 20 more damage, so we can get up to 210. So we're one-shotting V's, so then it becomes worth it to deal 30 to ourselves, because then we're one-shotting what we need to in that position if we're sending him out. So let's get into the trainers here. So that's kind of then Max Toxify, I forgot to talk about this. So Crobat, real quick, we'll talk about Crobat V. This guy, so again, he's just a bench filler and support. So really good, but he does have some poison. But what he does here is he can poison and then switch out, which is strong. And then Max Cutter, 180. Again, regardless of where the chip comes from, anywhere in this deck, there's chip everywhere. And then we also have Max Toxify. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned, and they take 120 damage instead of 10. So really, really, really strong. And then 10 base, obviously. So this dude he's just a big boss, big killer. We have a lot of search in the deck. Let's get into some trainers. So we have the Great Ball and a Nest Ball. Then we also have the Pokemon Communication, which is really, really good to be able to switch. Really, really strong there. We have the Rescue Stretcher. We're running one of these, and then we also then when we get into the doubles here, we're running 2 switch cards. Love to have switch. It's really, really powerful. Rescue Stretcher is nice because there's a couple of discard mechanics in this deck, so to be able to get things back if you need to is super nice. Then double switch is just really powerful, having 2 in the deck. 3 is actually preferred a lot of the times for me. It's just a preference, but in this deck we are running 2 for what we can fit. And then Dark City. So this is the main kind of tool here. So all basic dark Pokemon have no retreat cost. So do not make the mistake of using your VMAX or your evolution here. It's all about the Vs. So that's kind of why we have multiple V options to be able to just kind of switch in and out for free. Really, really strong, along with the switch card, because we also have the VMAX. And then, obviously, Obstagoon. We are running 1 Bead, 1 Sharon, just for extra draw power and energy. And then we're running double Cynthia, really, really powerful here. Just, anti-bricking, that's kind of her job. And then Guzma, very, very powerful to force them to switch, and then we get to switch in, kind of like that slow U-turn. Brandon's a big fan of that. We shout out to Zero. We're running 1 lady, extra energy draw. We want to have quite a bit of energy in our hand. We need energy in this deck, and we need it now, kind of thing. It's my money and I need it now. I don't really like to leave home without lady. I really like her. I think she's a lot of fun. Lysander. Gotta have a Lysander. Never leave home without him. Force them to switch. We win games off that. And then we're running double Piers. So I do have the special art, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, we're running double Piers. So search your deck for an energy, any kind of energy, and a dark Pokemon. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So very strong support card. So I only have 1 hiding energy right now. I'm currently waiting on some trades to get more. I want to run 4 in this deck. And then we'll just cut down dark energy for the more hiding that we put in. So it'll have the same amount of dark energy usage here. Sort of 19 total. So yes, we do want a lot of dark energy. Might even run 3 Piers, but yeah, definitely want to run 2. Just to be able to search the hiding energy. So this is also going to allow your VMAX to have free retreat costs, because you want to be able to switch in and out whenever you need to. That's so powerful, especially in this deck when there's so much utility depending on, okay, I need the damage here, or I need the poison, or I need the toxify, or I need the World of Ruin. Do you know what I mean? So like, there's everything you can go for. You could switch in your Obstagoon, and stop their basic from doing damage to you while you build something up in the back. You could switch this in and Brain Shake, Confuse, or just drag them off and make them switch. There's so many powerful options here. We're running double Pokemon Center Lady because she's very, very powerful. We love healing, special conditions, 60 HP is great. We are running a Skyla, so that way we can get either, it's usually for our Dark City, but we can potentially get a switch, Pokemon communication, or you could go for a supporter. Another thing you could do is get your hiding energy with Skyla, because it's just look for a trainer card. So very, very powerful there. And then no energy there, so you could do whatchamacallit, Piers, and then next turn search for your energy. And then we are running 1 fan club and 1 Pokekid just for some more search potential. And then we're running 18 dark energy, and then we're running the 2 specials. So that's kind of what we're rocking with here. Let us know down in the comments below what you think of this dark deck, and there will be a link in the description if you want to see some battles with this. That will be the next video. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I've been Justin. Class is dismissed.